Okay. So if you get yourself into a nice, comfortable seated position. Oh, actually, sorry, I should have done this earlier. It would be helpful, but not necessary, if you have, well, a yoga belt, which I have, but I thought I would just use a scarf, as I assume that's what any of you would have. So you can use a scarf, a dish towel, a towel, tie, belt, anything. It's not necessary, so if you don't want to get up and move, feel free not to. But if you just take a minute, we will use that for a couple of the postures. So today we're going to do a hip opening sequence. So hip openers are really good for relieving stress. So quite relaxing. You should feel a little bit looser in the limbs for the rest of the day, and hopefully a little bit more relaxed as well. And it's also going to help you strengthen, and it will help with posture and mobility in the hips. So we are going to start, let's start lying down. Okay. So bring yourself into a prone position. Just come down nice and gently. And we'll start by hugging the knees into the chest. And while we're here, relax down the shoulders. If you would like, close down the eyes. You don't need to hug the knees too tightly, just nice and comfortable. Shoulders relaxed, relax the face, relax the jaw. Take a few nice deep breaths here. Hi, Nelson. Just slowly easing into the practice. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Just allow yourself, calm the mind down, calm the body down. Don't need to worry about anything that's happened already today, anything that's going to happen. Just be ready to enjoy maybe the next 40 minutes. So we can do some nice ankle rolls, roll the ankles and feet in one direction, then the other. With some wrist rolls. And from here, we're going to come into happy baby. I'm going to take my socks off. So you can either, if you're feeling quite flexible, hold on to the outside of your soles of your feet. If this is not comfortable for you, you can bring the soles of the feet closer together, hold on to the ankles, or hold on to the shins. So whatever feels good for you today. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed down to the floor. I find because I'm not flexible enough in the hips, my shoulders come up a little and it's impossible for me to flatten them right down. But try and keep them as relaxed as possible. And you should feel some tension here. So it's as if you're pushing your feet, the soles of your feet up to the ceiling and pulling down with your arms at the same time. And you should feel the stretch in your arms, but you should also feel a nice opening up in the hips. Take a few moments here. I haven't actually seen me doing this in the video yet. I just remembered this morning that I've just put it online. So anyway, I think I'll save that for later before I watch that. So now release the feet and bring the feet down. Stretch out the legs. If you have a scarf, you can hold on to it now. So take one end in either hand and hook it round the right foot. Holding the scarf in one hand. If you don't have a scarf, you can just hold on to your foot, hold on to the big toe, or hold on to the leg. You don't need to straighten the leg if that option isn't open to you. So either holding onto the foot or the leg or the scarf, just stretching the foot up to the ceiling. Sole pointing to the ceiling. And you want to keep both hips down. So if you find the left hip coming up at any point, you can just press down on it. Keep it pressed flat to the floor. And take a moment just to bring the attention to the lower back. You want your lower back to be pressed on the floor, so not having an arch in the back. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, open out that leg to the right hand side, bringing it towards the floor. Keeping your shoulders nice and relaxed on the ground. So you're opening up the hip here, and if you want to increase the stretch, you can turn your toes down, so you're turning at the ankle, turning your toes down towards the floor. And your feet may or may not reach the floor here, absolutely fine if they don't. So on the next inhale, gently and with control and slowly bring the leg back up. Release your belt or scarf and extend the leg. And we're going to repeat this on the other side. So I'm close to the wall, so I'm going to move myself over. Bring your scarf or belt or yoga strap around your foot, holding it on both ends with the left hand. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale with the foot pointing up to the ceiling to increase the stretch, push your heel towards the ceiling and you should feel a greater stretch there. So no need to push yourself too far, but you can just play around with that, increasing the stretch. So take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, open the left leg down to the side. So just check that your right heel is still grounded on the ground. It's not coming up. And again, if you want to increase the stretch, you can very slightly turn the toes on the left foot down towards the ground. Close down the eyes if you would like. Just enjoy the sensation. Check you're not holding any tension in any other parts of the body, in the glutes, the shoulders. And the next inhale, with control, bring the leg up. Release whatever prop you're using and extend the legs. And now just take a moment just to see how does that feel in the hips. You might feel a little bit looser, you might feel some sensation. Just take a moment to see how that feels. And then when you're ready, we're going to come up into seated position. So one easy way to come up is just to rock yourself up. Might take a few goes, that's fine. So in opening the hips, you have to remember that the hips move in a lot of different directions. So we're going to try and stretch them in all ways and stretch the muscles surrounding the hips. So here is still a hip opener, but it's dealing with very different muscle sets. So I'm going to give you two options here, depending on what feels right for you. So first of all, can you extend the legs out in front of you and cross the right leg over so that the sole of the foot is flat on the ground? Yep, so if you've crossed it over the extended leg. Take a deep breath, and then from here you can fall forward. So just try to see what that feels like. If that feels like you're stretching quite a lot and you can feel that sort of in the back of the right hip, so where the glutes are, we're stretching a muscle called the piriformis here. So you might want to think, okay, that's enough. If you can't really feel it then and you want to go a little bit deeper, you can try ankle to knee pose. So you're going to bend the left knee so that the ankle to knee is kind of just sitting in front of you. And then you're going to bring the right foot to the left knee. So if you look at your right knee, it should be stacked roughly on top of the left ankle. So they call it fire log pose as well. So if you can imagine two fire logs sitting in front of each other. So if you're happy there, that's great. But if not, just go back to the original pose I showed you with one leg crossed over the other. So you take your choice. So from in here, exhale, opening up the chest. And as you exhale, walk the hands forward. Just take a moment here. This is quite a deep hip opener. And if you suffer any other sensation that's not nice, like for example, your ankle bones digging into the floor, just take your scarf and slip it underneath, because that's not doing any good. So from here, walk your hands back up, uncross the legs. And we'll do it on the other side, but again, test it out, because even if you find the second option, the more challenging option, okay on one side, it might not be okay on the other. So cross your left leg over your right extended leg. Take a deep breath in. Fall forward. And if you are just feeling this as a hamstring stretch, so if you're not really feeling anything too much back in the left glute, you have the option to try fire log pose. So you're crossing the right leg at the bottom and put the left ankle on top of the right knee, so that your left knee is stacked directly up above the right ankle. So you can see here I've got quite a fair bit of space, and that's because I'm not particularly flexible in the hips. If you're more flexible, that gap would close. So take a deep breath in, exhale, fall forwards. If you would like, you can drop the head. Focus on the breath. A couple more breaths here. Try and relax the face, the jaw. Don't hold on to any tension. And inhale. Slowly come out of this. Slowly untangle your legs. Maybe give them a bit of a shake. And from here, swing the legs round, and we're going to come up into tabletop position. So we'll do cat and cow, which we've done in the previous two classes, but we'll just put in a little hip opener in the middle. So get yourself a nice firm stance. So your shoulders directly up above your wrists, your knees directly underneath your hips, pushing into the floor with the tops of your foot. And you can make this quite an active position by really push out of the wrists, so you're nice and firm. So we're going to do cat and cow just once normally. So drop the belly, open up the chest, look up, keeping the shoulders relaxed, and then curving upwards, pushing the back up to the ceiling. This time, though, when you drop the belly, we're also going to lift the right foot, opening up the right hip, and then curving down with the knee as close to the nose as you can. Going to do this twice more. Inhale, dropping the belly, lifting the foot to the back. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, kicking the foot back, looking up. Exhale, bring the knee to the nose. From here, just slowly, you're going to bring the hip forward in between the hands. We're going to do a lunge here, so if you want a deeper stretch, you can move that back knee back slightly. Raise the torso. If you would like, you can raise the hands. And just pushing forward slightly with the hips, opening up through the front of the left leg. Check your alignment, your ankle should be directly underneath your knee. From here, bring the hands down. And then we're going to put in a twist. So bring the left arm just to the outside of the right knee. Place the palms together and twisting around to the right. Couple of breaths here. Try and keep the chest up so that you're not collapsing down on that left elbow. Try and stay nice and strong. Bring the hands back to the ground. From here, push the hips back. The toes on the right foot come up. Take a deep breath in and then fall forward over the extended leg. You might be up on your fingertips, palms flat on the floor. Bring your weight back forward. Bring the right foot back and you're back in tabletop. We're now going to repeat that little sequence on the other side. So drop the belly, looking up, and then tuck the tailbone in, push the back up to the ceiling, chin to chest. Now we're going to do it 3 times, incorporating the left leg. So kick, left knee back with the foot flexed, and then bring the knee as close to the nose as you can. And with the breath, as you inhale, kick the foot back, exhale, lift the nose, one last time, kick the foot back, lift the nose, and this time look forward and bring your foot in between your hands. If you would like, you can shuggle that back knee back a little bit because we're going to do a high lunge. So inhale, bring the hands up, opening up the chest. And from here, we'll do a twist. So bring the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Place the palms together. Deep breath in. Exhale to a nice twist. Come back to center with the hands on either side of the foot. And then you're going to push the hips back, lifting the toes up. Inhale, and as you exhale, fold forward over the forward leg. Oh. From here, you can come back into tabletop. So just take a moment here, catch your breath, and then we're going to go up into downward dog. So tuck the toes under, and then you're pushing your hips up and away. You can walk the feet out here, paddle the feet, walk the dog. I always feel a little bit creaky the first time I go into this in a day. So while we're here, we can open up the hips slightly by lifting the leg, lift the right leg, bend the knee, allow the weight of that leg to come over to the left-hand side, opening up the hips. Come back to normal downward dog, and we'll repeat on the other side. Lift the left leg, bend the knee. Come back to downward dog. From here, walk the hands, walk the feet towards the hands till you're in a forward fold. And then slowly come up, one vertebra at a time. Till you're in mountain. My cat's looking at me like I'm crazy. Okay, so I hope you're feeling nice after that, a little bit loose. So we'll do a little bit of a flow, including sun salutations, and then we'll work up into pigeon. A sort of peak pose. So if you just get yourself a nice comfortable stance at the top of your mat, so a nice stable stance. So you can either have your feet together if you would like, or if you want a little bit more balance and stability, you can bring them hip distance apart. And and we've done this every day now, so try and incorporate it where you can with your breath. So every move, either on an inhale or an exhale. Pull the shoulders back. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Bring the hands to the sides. Exhale, fall forward. If you want, bend your knees, kick the feet back. Here you can put your knees down if you would like, but lower chin and chest to the floor. Come up, cobra, tuck toes under, up into downward dog. So from here, you're going to bring the left foot forward in between the hands. You come up into a lunge, and from here you have a choice. Either bring the feet together, and then we're going to bring the right knee up. Or if you would like, from lunge, come straight up on one leg. So it's up to you. If you need the balance, bring your foot here to steady yourself. And then you're going to lift the right knee and hug it into your chest. So you have an option now, either just stay here, or if you would like, just standing pigeon, so bring the right ankle on top of the left knee, just above, and then bend, a bit wobbly, bend that left knee, bring the hands in front of the chest, just for a couple of breaths, focusing on the balance. Then straighten the leg, bring the feet together. Take a moment to appreciate the moment, and then we'll repeat on the other side. Pull the shoulders back. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, hands to the ground, kick the feet back, put the knees down if you require. Lower chin and chest to the floor. Push up to cobra. Tuck toes in. push the hips up and back. This time we're going to pick up the right foot and bring your weight forward. Put your right foot in between your hands. Come up into a high lunge. Again, you have an option of either bringing the knee forward, or if you want the intermediate step, bring the feet together first. And then you're going to lift the left knee up, hugging it into the chest. And either stay here, because this is a good balancing posture on its own, or if you would like, humbly, bring your left ankle up above your right knee. Bring the hands together in front of the chest and sink the hips back. Making sure you're keeping the left knee open. So you should be feeling this stretch inside of the hips, but also in the back. And then when you're ready, with balance and control, bring both feet together. And then just stand, close the eyes, face the palms forward. And just take a moment here. Just feeling the increased energy in the body. So we'll be running out of Zoom time soon, so we'll just run through a half flow and then into child's pose. So roll the shoulders back, inhale, reaching up, exhale, fall forward, inhale halfway, exhale, hands to the ground, kick the legs back, bring the knees to the ground if you would like. Lower, chaturanga, push up into cobra. From here, instead of downward dog, push the hips back. You can either keep the knees together, which is meant to be easier, but I actually find it much nicer opening the knees. So the toes will be together. You can either lift the knees together or apart. And then just relaxing down, forehead to the floor. Trying to sink your hips back towards the heels. So I'm just going to hang up now and I will see you in a minute. Enjoy.
Okay.
And then from here, tuck the toes under. You might want to move your hands a little bit closer. And we're going to go up into downward dog. And then from here, just to come back into standing position, step or walk the feet forward. Come halfway up. Go back into deep forward fold. Then inhale, up to standing, and some prayer. So we'll do a few standing postures here. So just to turn around so we're the other way on mat, lift up one of your legs, swing yourself round so that your feet are quite wide stance, a good bit wider than hip distance. And my feet at the moment are both pointing forwards. But now I'm going to pick up the toes on my right foot and turn them 90 degrees. So they're pointing to the top of my mat. And I'll just turn the back toes in slightly, just because that helps me rotate my hips. So swing the arms up. So your hips are still facing square, if that makes sense. So the way they were facing before, their hips, even though your legs have moved, hips are still facing forward. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, just come over. We're not falling anywhere or twisting or anything. I've just come to the side. Once you come as far as you can, all you do now is move your hands. So one comes down. You can actually rest it on the shin or wherever it falls, or I tend to leave it open and put it on the inside of the leg because that helps me sort of rotate slightly. And my other hand is pointing straight up to the ceiling. I'm looking up to my hand. If that doesn't work for you, either for your balance or for your neck, then just you can turn and look at your feet. But if you can, and it's comfortable to do so, look up at the hand. So you should be feeling nice and strong in the legs. And then on your next inhale, the best way to come up is turn and look at your toes on your outstretched leg, and then come up again the way you went into it. So we'll do one more stretch on this side. So turn to face that front leg. And now your toes on your back foot are kind of pointing forwards as well. They'll probably be out to the side a little bit. And then you've got a choice with your hands. You can either hold on to the elbows behind your back, or you can have a prayer pose with the hands pointing down, with your fingers pointing to the floor, or a little bit more challenging is prayer pose with the fingers pointing up. So really opening up in the chest. Take a deep breath, look up, exhale, fall forward over that front leg. Your legs are sort of straight in the moment, but if you want to put a slight bend into them, that's perfectly okay. Take a nice deep breath, only go as far as is comfortable for you. Inhale and exhale, keeping the shoulders back, the chest open. If you want, you can drop down the head. Just a couple of breaths here, a couple more. And to come up very slowly, you want to come up with a flat back. You might want to bend the knee before you come up. Come up slowly. Bring the feet to center. You might want to give them a bit of a shake. Underneath. Release the arms. And now do a wide-legged forward fold. So again, feet quite wide apart. This is a bit of you wouldn't think it this way, but the wider the legs are for this one, the easier it is. So it's up to you. You'll get further to go, the closer your legs are together. So wide-legged forward fold. Put the hands on the hip, roll the shoulders back. Deep breath in, looking up. Exhale, fall forward. Try and keep the back flat. Big shot, sorry. Try and keep the back flat, sorry about that. And then once you're down, if you would like, you can release the hands. If your hands might come to the floor, they might not. You might want to hold on to your shins, whatever's comfortable for you. Again, if you feel that you want to have a slight bend in the knee, that's perfectly okay to do so. If your hands are on the ground, you want to keep your elbows in. So from here to come up, if you want a little bit of assistance, you can bring your hands to your legs. You can bend the knees slightly. That would come up with a straight back. If you want to, give your legs a shake, but we're just going to repeat those two to the side. So your feet are currently pointing forward, so turn the toes on one foot 90 degrees to the top of the mat. Toes on the back foot come in slightly. Yeah. Now you might find you want to bring your legs slightly more together. For this, we're very far apart for the wide legged forward fold, so I've just moved them slightly closer together. It's up to you. So inhale, bring the arms parallel to the body, keeping the chest open, so sort of push the pinkies back a little bit. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, come over to the sides as far as is comfortable. Then when you've reached as far as you go, just drop one arm down, one arm up. into triangle, Utthita Trikonasana. You don't need to force yourself down too far, just go as far as is comfortable, and you should feel a nice stretch along one side, but also in the hips. Try and think nice, strong in the legs, and feel almost as if one hand has been pulled down to the earth, the other hand being pulled up. A nice chest opener. To come up, turn your gaze to the front foot. You can have a slight bend in the front knee. Bring yourself up to standing. We'll adjust our back foot so that it's more pointing. It won't be pointing directly forwards, it will be at a slight angle, but only slightly. So then choose your arm position, either hold onto your elbows, palms with fingers facing down, or palms together with fingers facing up. Deep breath in, exhale, fall forward over the extended front leg. Just a couple of breaths here, gazing at the toes. Take a deep breath in and out. Now, the best way to come up, bend the front knee slightly, come up with a straight back, turn the toes to the front, give your legs a bit of a shake. So just one more position. I want us to do pigeon. Then we're sort of done with the difficult stuff. There you go. So just bring yourself to the top of the mat and we'll flow to get into it. Last flow of the class. Shoulders back. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, fall forward. Inhale, halfway. Hands to the ground, kick the feet back. Come down. Push up into cobra. And then tuck the toes under, come into downward dog. So from here, look in between the hands. You're going to lift up your right foot. Bring your weight forward. And then you're going to bring your right knee behind your right wrist or on the ground. Your left foot will move back. So your right heel will sort of be underneath, maybe with a big bit of a gap underneath your left hip. Sit up here. And if you would like, walk the hands forward, bring the head to the ground, and we'll stay here for a few breaths. If you find this a bit intense, go back into wide-legged child's pose. So child's pose with the knees apart. This is quite an intense pose, but you will still be opening your hips if you go back into wide-legged child's pose. And you'll still have all the benefits. So try and relax the shoulders, the face in this position. So to get out, lift the head, place the hands on the ground, walk your hands a little bit closer to the body, and then very slowly tuck the toes under on the back foot and lift yourself up. You can either come into child's pose here, or if you would like, come back up into downward dog. Your choice. Just take a moment here, either in child's pose or down dog, but then to come back and do the other side, Come up into downward dog. You're going to lift up the left foot, bring your weight forward, and place the left knee behind the left wrist. You can walk the toes on the back foot back a little bit, as far as it's comfortable. Breathe in, roll the shoulders back, and exhale, fall forward. So you want to make sure here the hips are quite square, because I think with some people they would fall over to one side, which you don't want. If that's happening, you could stick something underneath, whether it's a book or a pillow or a cushion or whatever you've got handy. But the hips should be sort of level. If it's comfortable to do so, walk the hands forward, bring the forehead down. Relax the shoulders, relax the face. From here, walk the hands in towards you, and very carefully we'll come out of the posture, so tuck the toes under on the back foot. Lift yourself up, and from here you could go into down dog and walk it out a couple of times, but then we're just going to come down into child's pose. And just take a few moments here to relax. Take a moment to see how your hips are feeling. Do they feel any different? Any sensation? Feel any looser? And then when you're ready, just come up into a seated position. Roll the shoulders back. And actually, we don't have much time left, so from here, let's just bring ourselves down onto the mat. Start maybe the way we began. See if it feels any different. Bring ourselves up to happy baby. Or if it's better for you, soles of the feet together and just hold on to the ankles or the shins. We can bring a bit of movement into this. You can bend and unbend the legs. Maybe roll from side to side. Nice, fluid, relaxed movements. So from here, stretch the feet, extend them up to the ceiling, bend them halfway, bring the arms out to the sides, so in a cactus position, so the arms out and then bent at the elbow. Take a deep breath in and allow the knees to fall over to the right. And try and keep the left shoulder on the ground. It will probably want to come up, but the more you keep that shoulder attached to the ground, the better the stretch and the better the twist will be. If you imagine like you're wringing out a cloth. And really consciously try to relax the thigh muscles. Try and relax everything in this posture. Take a deep breath in with control, bring the knees back to center. Inhale And as you exhale, let them drop over to the left. You can close your eyes here. All the hard work's done. And then on the next inhale, roll onto the back. Bring the soles of the feet to the ground. And then make any adjustments necessary to get as comfortable as you possibly can for Shavasana. So bring the feet maybe to the edges of the mat, feet pointing, feet open. I like to have my hands palm upwards. Some people like to have them on the belly. Just relaxing. Get yourself a blanket or a jumper if you need a bit more warmth. And close down the eyes. So just scan your body from head to toe. Just notice what's going on, notice how you're feeling after the class. So no need to change anything, adjust anything, just notice how you're feeling in different parts of the body. And just let the breath come and go naturally. Just allow the mind to be calm. No need to think of anything in particular. And just let the body absorb all the good things you've done for it in the class. Maybe take a moment to compare how you feel now to how you felt at the beginning of the class. And you can feel that in your mind, this moment of calm and peace can stay with you for the rest of the day. So just allow your body to become heavy, sink into the floor. And for the next few minutes, just enjoy the moment of silence and calm. So take a deep inhale, so the deepest inhale we've taken all day so far. And And allow that breath to give you the extra energy to make some movement in your fingers, your toes, your neck. Maybe bend your knees, bring your soles of the feet to the floor. Rock your knees from side to side. Roll over nice and gently onto one side. Take a moment there. And when you're ready, come up into a seated position. Okay, I think everybody's up. So from here, let's just have a nice little twist. Inhale, exhale, come round to the left. Oh. Come back to center. Inhale, exhale, twist round. Come back to center. As you inhale, reach the hands up. Hands together, exhale. Bring the hands in front of the chest. Bow the head. Namaste. Thank you. My unmute you all.
Namaste.
Thanks, Joe.
I do apologise. That was a wee bit longer than longer than I meant. I realised I'd gone over.
Okay.
Yeah, I was.
It's a bargain.
Thanks,
Thank you,
really
Joe.
great. Thank you so much for putting this on.
Yeah.
Will
Oh,
it continue
pleasure.
though after the school when school goes back?
Say that again.
Will you continue for us after school goes back?
Well, this is for 7 days. I wanted to do every day for 7 days through lockdown over New Year. But I'd be open to doing it, but I wouldn't be doing it every day.
No, obviously not, but
Yeah,
you know.
because I was doing 1 day a week before, like last lockdown, and that was good. 1 day a week was quite good, wasn't it, Angela?
It was brilliant. I loved it. It was something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
gets
maybe
you
we'll do
going.
that.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Oh, I'll stop recording.